Hi, I'm Erica Ramirez, founder of Illy and host of What About Your Friends, a podcast dedicated to the many lives of friendship and how it's portrayed in pop culture. Every Wednesday on the Ringer Dish feed, I talk to my best friend Stephen Othello and your favorites from within the Ringer and beyond about friendships on TV, in movies, pop culture, and our real lives. So join me every Wednesday on the Ringer Dish feed where we try to answer the question TLC asked back in the day, what about your friends?
This episode is brought to you by eBay Authenticity Guarantee. eBay knows that when it comes to jewelry, authenticity is the real gem. When you see the blue check mark that says Authenticity Guarantee, it means your next piece will be carefully inspired by jewelry experts and will always be worth its weight in gold. Whether you're looking to make a statement or build the perfect everyday look, eBay is making sure you get the real deal. With eBay Authenticity Guarantee, you can trust that jaw-dropping piece will always arrive jaw-droppingly real. Ensure your next purchase is the real deal. Visit ebay.com for terms. This episode is brought to you by Reese's Peanut Butter Cups. All right, it's official. I think I've discovered the ultimate coupling of all time. Like any good relationship, they really balance each other out. One is super sweet, and the other, well, they can be a little nutty sometimes. It is, of course, Reese's Peanut Butter Cups, the perfect combination of peanut butter and chocolate. So perfect, some would call it true love. Find Reese's now at a store near you. Welcome to Bachelor Party. I'm Juliet Litman. I'm here with Callie Curry. It's the final week of our Love Island UK Season 3 rewatch. Callie, I don't want it to end.
It is interesting because obviously I think about you when I'm watching this.
That's really nice.
And I don't think I wrote it down in my notes, but I was thinking to myself that I was worried about your mental health for a number of reasons.
Okay, so I have a lot of things to share. First of all, I was obsessed with camp as a child and a teenager and a young adult. I mean, I'm like still obsessed with it as an adult, but I talk about it all the time, but in like a way that I think makes more sense as like a nostalgic thing. But I just thinking about what I was like when I was 16, when camp was over and the summer was ending, I was so sad. I was like miserable. I was just like a basket case. And to this day, I have a really hard time with like life transitions, like coming home from vacation, new season. I just have a very hard time with it. And so Love Island ending feels like the end of camp. And I'm just absolutely mourning it. It's so upsetting.
Well, the sad part is obviously we love some of these people.
Yeah.
Like absolutely love some of these people. So it is sad that it's over. Great news, though.
Yes.
You could rewatch it in a few years like I am, and it can bring all the feelings back to you. Like, I'm very, very happy watching this. And it makes me excited because I'm like, she hasn't seen season 4 or season 5 or season 6. Like, there's so much more. And I can't tell you, I always say season 3 and season 5 are my favorite, but it's really neck and neck. Like,
okay.
I can't.
That makes me feel better. Thank you.
And season 4 is great. Also, I've heard season 2. My brother says it's the best season, and I've never watched it. So we can rewatch that together.
Okay.
And we both be new.
That's great. Thanks so much, Callie. That makes me feel better. I'm really sad. Just it's giving up this moment in time. Like, again, I'm depressed that all these people are going to go on to like be really famous. Because I know this is like the season when Love Island blew up. And like this is sort of like as good as it got for these Love Island stars. So I really like them as they are, which is like these just like lovable goofballs. Like it's very hard to imagine Chris and Kem being as ridiculous together going forward in a totally natural way. I'm sure they'll like turn that for the cameras or whatever. But when they were like doing karate and then joking about how they like need their time together and like wanted to get a bracelet together, I was just like dying. I loved it so much.
Should they get an anklet together? Also, they do this thing where they'll like go back and forth.
Mm-hmm.
I can't remember the word they were saying.
Brother.
Oh, brother. No, brother.
Yeah.
Brother.
It's like they're constantly working on their raps.
It's so fun to watch.
I know. That's why I don't want it to end.
And I love how Ian now is like just adds them into the couples.
Me too. It's just like,
it's
and then
so good.
And then when Olivia was to Amber, like, don't you want to find someone who loves you the way they love each other? Like,
yeah.
It was so
They're like, that
funny.
is the goal. That is end game.
The main thing is, I love Chris as he is in Love Island season 3, 2017. And I'm very worried about who Chris is now. And I like Liv too, but I'm sort of over her. Like, I'm just like, she's not a good girlfriend.
A lot.
And she's just she's not ready. I still like her, but they shouldn't be together. But I'm really worried about Chris's journey through fame over the last 6 years. So that's waiting for me on the other side. And I'm like, do I even want to know?
That's also exciting. I was just so happily watching Chris and Kim.
I know.
That I then went to Instagram to see when the last time they posted pictures of each other because I wanted to make sure that they were still friends.
Is it recent?
No, unfortunately, the last picture was 2020.
Oh, shit. That's upsetting. Okay, well, since we're talking about social media, I was on Reddit. I'm sorry, it just was. And it's been fine. I've been keeping up with Love Island season 9.
I think I know what you're going to say, and I'm really nervous about it.
Well, one thing led to another. And the first thing that happened was, spoiler alert, people, if you don't want to know anything else about these people, but it was the birthday of a child of one of the couples that is married. And I know one of the couples already. It's Dom and Jess. And so I found out that... Skip ahead. We'll put in the timestamps if you don't want to know. Skip ahead. Camilla and Jamie are married with 2 children. Holy shit.
How amazing. Wait, first of all, I have goosebumps right now. I'm so happy that you know now. Isn't it so great?
It's so beautiful. Also, I love them both, but he's amazing. And
amazing.
He seems like such a great dad, very involved dad, really supportive. I just learned in this group of episodes that he can sing, and then he like sang at their wedding. So then once I found out, I was like, well, I'm just going fucking deep. And I went to their Instagrams. I watched their 5-minute wedding video. I was like, wow, they have 2 girls. Like they seem, one thing I really liked is like they seem pretty regular. Like she clearly makes money off of Instagram. Like she does like influencing shit, but like they just seem normal people. He got a dad bod that he's trying to lose weight. Like he's just, also the gray in his beard looks so hot. He looks
great. Camilla's lost weight, I think, based off what I've seen on Instagram.
She looks so different, I think. Not like she had, I don't know if it's that she had work
done.
Not
plastic surgery.
No,
it's
just
more
like
so
no
like,
eyelashes, no makeup, like just a lot more
she doesn't
natural.
wear makeup a lot on Instagram. I was going to say, yes, she is like a quote unquote influencer, but it's not like the average influencer that you see that's like picture perfect, everything's whatever, or like very like kitschy. It's just like, this is my life. It's not like annoying.
She does like mom stuff that like, you're like, yeah, okay, that makes sense because you have 2 kids.
They're a very like cute, beautiful family.
Yeah. Also, it seems like she got her wedding dress week of her wedding, and that's like insane. It seems very Camilla. And I just kind of can't believe it. I watched up to episode 46 without knowing. And then I watched 47 this morning. And I wouldn't have guessed. I just wanted to tell you that. I would never have guessed. And also, I knew you would have asked me. And I just didn't want to lie to you, Callie. You know? I just wanted
That's not what I thought you found out.
Well, I found out one other thing, too.
Oh, God, what?
Liv got married over the weekend.
Oh, my God. I didn't even know that.
You didn't? Oh, my God. She got married to like a second-rate footballer.
Yeah. I told you that she's been with the footballer. But I didn't know her wedding was this weekend.
Yeah, it was at the Bulgari Hotel in London. It was a small wedding. She wore a ridiculous dress. She looks so different. I would absolutely not pick her out of a lineup. I would never, ever know.
Come on.
No, I wouldn't know.
I feel like she used to look more different and she looks less different now, if that makes sense.
Maybe it's the makeup because we've gotten a lot of non-makeup Liv as she's gotten more comfortable on the show. But she looks so different, Callie. Like I would never ever recognize her.
Maybe I'm just used to the new look.
Yeah, you've probably just been looking at it for a while, but I was just like, wow. And it's not like she like looks like her old self, but like mangled, which often happens with plastic surgery. It's just
she looks like just a different
face. It's not bad work. It's just like a lot of work, and it's like very sad. So yeah, she got married over the weekend.
Yeah, no, she still looks fine. It's just different. But I think I'm just used to what she looks like now.
There was no way Chris and Liv were gonna like stay together, so I'm okay with that. And honestly, like maybe it's for the best. definitely for the best. They're not compatible, as they've said many times. But anyway, the Jamie and Camilla reveal was huge.
That's also not what I thought you were going to find out.
Oh,
so
great! Still so much more.
There's still more to come.
Okay, so we're gonna go over these episodes 43 to 47. But I just want to say, our next one on Thursday, when we do the final two, 50 and 51, Callie and I have a shared note. Now, once you shared that you like to have an ongoing collaborated note on the Notes app, that was a real game changer for me. And I think this is going to be a really important way for us to communicate and collaborate going forward, because I'm a major Notes app user. But you need to start a separate solo note of just like information to tell me, and I will respond in real time. And I cannot wait. I'm fucking so excited. Just as much as you can. I need to know everything. How long did the couples last? What were the breakups like? What have they done? What do people care about? Who are other celebrities they've dated? Like everything you can get.
Can I also tell you that when I'm in the Notes app, usually I'm watching after the kids go to sleep. So I'm like running on one brain cell. I like, for some reason recently, it's probably like partially like mom brain that happens in the beginning. I like can't recall words. Like I'm like, when this happens, like in my head, I'm like, what is that word? What is that word? So I'll write out like things to describe the word until I remember the word, and then I'll erase it and put the word there. But I'm like, if Juliet ever reads this, like as I'm typing it, I'm like, I hope she's not watching me type this right now. And I get really nervous that you're sitting on the Notes app watching me type.
That's never happened. And also like, I feel too awkward about it. I don't like watching like that kind of thing happen in real time. Like I want to read it when you're ready for me to read it. So
what was the word? Oh, Liv self-deprecating. I couldn't remember self-deprecating. And I was like, Liv, when she talks about herself poorly, she keeps making fun of herself. And I was like typing it out thinking like, please, please, please don't be reading me type this right now. And I remembered it in the moment. So then I like wrote it all out and then erased it and then wrote the word.
Has Seth been rewatching it with you?
No.
Oh.
He hasn't watched season 3.
What? Why didn't he take this opportunity? That's insane.
He's watched season 4 and 5. I think he would have, but I have to watch it by a certain time.
Oh, gotcha.
So I feel like the pace.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, maybe it can be a plane show for him next season when you're not around.
But he will be watching
the new season.
He watches the newest seasons with me. Yeah.
So excited about that. Okay. Let's talk about these episodes, which a lot happened. Also love that we're just down to the nitty gritty. We just got our 5 couples. Was anyone dumped in this? Oh yeah. Georgia and Sam went home.
Yeah, but who cares? And then at the end, they're voting on a couple.
Right. So one more couple will get dumped before the final 4. And it's between Gabby and Mas. The way they say it, I just like can't get, but it's so funny.
Mas.
You're really good at being British. Gabby and Mars, Montana and Alex, and Jamie and Camilla. So fuck the haters if they vote off Jamie and Camilla.
I don't remember who gets voted off this time.
Who would you vote for to leave?
So easy. I'm so over Montana and Alex right now.
Yeah. Really bad stretch for Montana. Really bad. So in basically Gabby Montana, it's come out in these episodes, have a beef, but then they also don't. But side note, the song they sang in the talent show. Do you know that song?
No, I don't even remember.
It's like it's by Jessie Ware. It's a great.
I don't even know what that is.
I believe. Yeah, she's a British singer. Also, I'm really into her podcast, so I'm like aware of her. But they were acting like they like wrote that song. I was just like, I guess none of you have never heard it before, but they certainly did not.
They had the worst talent.
Sorry, it's by James Arthur, not by Jessie Ware. Anyway, yes, I agree. They have the worst talent, but we're jumping ahead all over the place because I have all this new information. Let's go back to the Twitter challenge. Biggest reveal of the Twitter challenge, there was probably 2. One was that Liv said she would shag Mike if no one would find out.
Mm-hmm.
And the other was that I want to focus on right now is Gabby in Montana, which is the texting that we talked about a few episodes ago came to light through someone's tweet.
There was something else about, also Gabby they also said that like Gab and like they don't believe that Gabs is as into Mars as he is into her or something like that. Yeah.
Right. And that Montana said that, right?
No.
Oh, it was just a tweet.
I think they were just like, it was just a tweet.
Gotcha.
But it was between like those things combined. I was like rough go for Gab. And then Liv had the thing she said about Mike, and they were like, you can do much better, Chris.
Yeah. I don't know if Chris can do much better. He just do different. They're just not meant to be. Like, she finds him too annoying. How can you find, he is funny, but like when she came back from their date, like one of the reasons she had such a good time is because she said he wasn't making any jokes. Well, it's like, if you don't like his humor.
That's part of who he is.
Yeah, that's him. So I don't know.
Also, his jokes are funny.
He's hilarious. I love him.
I also love when they were like, Kim, you should take that infinity bracelet from Amber and give it to Chris.
So we're talking about Chris and Liv. Do you think Chris had the right to be as upset as he was?
Yeah.
It's pretty bad.
Well, the other thing is, she's making it seem like it was banta. It was not banta.
Yeah.
You were being dead serious.
That's
why when Sam was like, I mean, the other thing is like, I was there. So I know how she said it.
It was very Ross from Friends. We were on a break. We were broken up. Like, yeah, you were broken up for like 12 hours. Like, it doesn't count. I just thought that she handled that. That's kind of when I turned on her. She handled that so badly.
Well, she has a very big problem saying like she did something wrong.
Yeah, and saying I'm sorry, which is like and we have seen her do it a fair number of times, but it's almost like, because if she doesn't, how do you survive in there?
Yeah, but even her sorries are like, they're kind of like, she'll say sorry eventually, but before she says sorry, she somehow makes it so that that person also feels bad for her.
Yeah, it's true.
Like she's crying in the bed and Chris just like walks past her. But like, it had to be like, I'm so miserable and so sad for doing something bad. So you should also feel bad for me, even though I did something wrong.
Yeah. And then she makes it like about his personality. Like, why are you reacting this way? Why are you making such a big deal of it? It was banter. And the thing that really like made me just kind of sour on the two of them together is Jamie's approach to Camilla in this challenge was like absolutely amazing. In the next one, the lie detector. He was like not worried.
Him and Marcel.
Yeah. He was like not worried at all about what was going to be said. He just kept stressing in his interviews that he was worried about how it would affect her. Like how she would respond.
Yeah.
And that's like exactly right. You know, he's worried about her emotional well-being. He's not worried about like what's the actual content. And it's like, what a great guy. What a great relationship. And then that really, hit home that those two shouldn't be together. So that was sad.
Well, even in this though, her being like, it's just banter. Why do you care? Da, 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 da. And I'm like, if you had said that to Kim, no one would care. Everyone would know that it was just you guys fucking around. It was banter or whatever. You saying it to the guy who you ended up like leaving Chris for last time he was here because you thought he was hotter than Chris until you got to know his personality. And then we're like, never mind, I'll have Chris. Like, yeah, that's really shitty.
Really shitty. And like, why? Of course it's going to make Chris feel bad. She basically doesn't want Chris to have feelings. And she doesn't want the complication of feelings. It's very hard to watch because like I do like her and I think she's like a good person. She just at this point is not emotionally evolved enough to like handle like an intense relationship.
Yeah. Also, same challenge when it said when they had to fill in the blanks and they guessed whatever it said where it was like Chris, she's too like you could do better or whatever it said.
Yeah.
And whoever guessed it, Chris was like, good guess. And Liv was like, oh, really? Good guess. Good guess. Like, got so pissed. And I was like, yeah, Chris, like, obviously that's not very nice to say.
No.
Good guess. Of course I could do better than Liv. Like, what?
He's like, he is kind of mean to her. Like, he calls her an idiot a lot. Like, but that's just, I don't know. I guess I'm excusing the way that he is. But I think that's because he has a softer side that comes out a lot. And he also is going for humor where she is just like a lot more defensive. Although, I don't know.
Yeah. I don't think Chris is purposely ever trying to be mean. I think he might say stuff that he doesn't realize. Like him saying good guess. He definitely did not realize that was mean.
Yeah. I think the main difference is like they both say mean things to each other is that he apologizes and he has like just more he has more of like an emotional spectrum than she does. And for her,
or if you explain it to him, he can understand like, oh, okay. Like when Kim like breaks it down for him sometimes, he'll be like, oh, okay, I see like how that hurt her feelings or whatever.
Yeah.
There's no like reasoning with Liv.
Right. And I think that they just don't trust each other. Like when she was crying, he claimed it was crocodile tears. And I was actually surprised how long the fight went on as a result of the Twitter challenge for the two of them. Like it was like 2 or 3 episodes. It was hard for me.
I think that's the point where I was like, ugh, I wonder how Juliet's doing right now.
Yeah, because
the roller coaster that is Liv and Chris.
It's really tough.
Might not be healthy for you.
No, it's true. It's my heart can't take it. I will say, on the other hand, in Liv's favor, I thought she approached the lie detector really well after what went on with the Twitter challenge, where she was just like, fuck it, listen, tell the truth. And so she didn't have any lies. And even if it was hurtful, I thought when she was like explaining herself, like, a week ago would have been different, but do I love him? No. Today I can't say I do. And it's like, well, you probably didn't a week ago then, fine. But I thought that was the right way to handle it versus like someone like Gabby, who made it seem like she was like hiding stuff because she was so pained over her answers.
I mean, I think they're both not great. The fact that she's like, in this moment, I hate you. So no, it's like, that's not how love works.
I know. I know. She doesn't know. It's like, okay, you don't even know who you don't know what love is. If that's what's happening for you.
No. Out of everyone, I think Montana handled it correctly. I've known you 2 fucking weeks.
Yeah.
Yeah, correct. You don't love him.
Let's talk about Montana. So
rough go for Mon these episodes.
Real rough. First of all, Alex tells her he loves her in bed. And the next morning he claims he's happy with how she responded, which
buzzing.
He said he was buzzing. It's like literally impossible because she was like, really? What do you mean? And that was it. And she didn't say anything back. She didn't like say, I think she might have said thank you, but it was definitely not reciprocated.
I don't even think she said thank you. I don't even think she said thank you.
So awkward. Just so incredibly awkward.
Also, when he was telling Jamie about it, Jamie, for some reason, well, not for some reason, based on what I've seen, Jamie is, well, how do I say this? Because he's not like my favorite, but he's my favorite. Like,
he's the most emotionally mature.
He's not the most entertaining to watch,
No.
but he's the best everything.
He's the one that you want your friend to date.
Yes, 100%. He's who I would, if I got to watch all this and then got to decide who to couple up with. Like, if you don't pick Jamie, you're dumb.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, he's also quite attractive, I think.
Yeah.
And
just a good person.
Definitely.
So his vibe, because like, well, from what we see, Alex seems fine, right? We don't get to see much because he has no personality at all. But the little that we see, he's like, whatever. You know what I mean? Like, I don't feel any negative feelings towards him. But the vibes that Jamie gives him, I'm like, he must be doing things that they're like, eh.
Yeah.
They don't think it's real. Because Jamie's vibe when he was telling him was very much so like, oh, really? Oh, you love her. Okay.
Well, I think Alex has been there only slightly longer than Jamie. Because Jamie didn't come in Casa Amor. He came right after, right? But Alex was in Casa. And so he's just probably like, how can that possibly... Everyone's like, yeah, it's been 2 weeks. How can you be in love? And like...
Right.
And they're not even like... they don't seem to have that much in common. They just seem to have a lot of sex at this point, which power to them, you know? Good for them. But like, I don't get it at all. And I don't know. Alex is like... I find Sam actively annoying, so I guess I would choose Alex to stay over Sam. But like, those are like my 2 least favorite people from the season. I would say Johnny, I hate, but he brings a lot to the table, and that I can spend time hating him. You know,
entertainment wise,
yes.
Yeah, Johnny brings more.
Yes, absolutely.
I don't just like Sam. Yeah, I just would prefer not to. Like, he doesn't like.
He's a 0.
Like, him leaving did nothing for me.
Actually, I find him less than 0. I don't like listening to him talk, and I hate.
Same with Georgia though.
Tattoos.
Like, I was totally fine with them leaving.
Me too. It's kind of funny that
Georgia was much better on the challenge.
Yeah, she has more challenge energy. Like, I feel like the Striver energy is just better for the challenge. It's a real Striver show, so it's a good fit. You know. I'm trying to think of the other big reveals from the Twitter challenge. Oh. They really played into Stormzy watching the show, which is funny because Stormzy like had like some fame here in the US, but he is huge in the UK, especially in 2017.
I love Stormzy.
Yeah. But it's just funny like that's like the celebrity that was like the focal point of a few episodes.
Also, he clearly watches the show.
I mean, everyone
when he
does,
was on the
right?
FaceTime.
Yes, I know. He was like, Liv, sorry, it's awkward.
He knew everyone's name.
Yeah, he clearly watches it. They probably reached out to him when they found out he watched.
I love that they had him and that they had him with Mars, Kim, Chris rapping. Like, I was like, this is so good. And then Chris was like, my mind's gone. Like, he was so excited. I loved it.
It's so funny how much they just love rapping. Like they act like it's like part of like their nature and they can't like live without doing it. It's so weird.
I don't think they're bad. Like I think it's a missed opportunity that they didn't try to do something after the show with this.
Are you serious? They're not that good. A little bit, leave it.
I mean, yeah, that's catchy.
I still don't know what it means, but okay, sure.
Me either. But Liv used it in a sentence. Too,
yeah, I know.
These episodes, she was like, she was like, that's like a little bit, leave it. And I was like, what the fuck does this mean? If any of our followers know what that means, please DM. I need to know. I need to understand.
If you could interview anyone from the cast, who would you choose?
Oh, come on.
Kem?
Yeah, it's not close.
I wonder what Kem's like now.
Kem is still my favorite.
I love Kem too. Chris is my favorite, but I love Kem as well. But also I love Mars. I just feel like Marcel actually might be the most interesting because he's within the Blazing Squad.
I think Mars would be more, would have like more story, like would be probably a more entertaining interview, but Kem and Chris would be funny.
I would love to spend time with them if they're still best mates. Callie, question. What do you prefer? Movie night or the Twitter challenge?
Movie night.
Why?
Because you get to see, like, if they did movie night this season, right?
Mm-hmm.
They would be able to show Gabby texting Mars after being with Montana, and you know what I mean? Like, you'd be able to see all of it. It would be way worse than just like, oh, she slagged her off in a text.
I disagree. I think that like the not knowing.
Or you could have a video of Liv telling Mike that she wants to sleep with him.
I know, but I think it actually like tests them and plays more of a mind game by not showing them what actually happened and just like relying on like the Twitter hearsay and then making them explain it to each other. It introduces a lot more doubt and like less room for interpretation. And I think that's like a better mind game.
I'm also fine with them doing both. Why can't we have both?
Yeah, it's interesting. Like, I couldn't remember if they did the heart rate challenge or they did the lie detector challenge in season 9. I don't think so.
They did the lie detector in season 9?
No, they didn't. They did the heart rate challenge. Yeah. But yeah, lie detector, they didn't. I liked that one a lot. Lie detector's got to come back.
From watching this season, I feel like they used to do way more challenges.
Way more. Every day there was something. Every day. Like even the girls challenge to, get the boys to do stuff. Like they used to have way more challenges and it was better. And also the other thing is the other major difference, they don't force them to do the morning debriefs with their coffee or whatever in like each of their spots. Like it just happens more naturally.
Oh, yeah.
Why do they make them do that?
I don't think they might now. But they didn't. I think it started in season 6. Season 5 or season 6, I can't remember. I want to say 6. Season 6, they started doing it, and that one was more natural. Like, I feel like it just happened to start happening. Like, it didn't happen every single morning. And in that season, they also use different words. Because you know how they don't say, like, oh, we had sex. They'll be like, oh, we made a pizza.
Interesting.
Or whatever. That season did that too, and probably naturally. So now I think that's like a thing to do.
This episode is brought to you by eBay Authenticity Guarantee. eBay knows that when it comes to jewelry, authenticity is the real gem. When you see the blue check mark that says Authenticity Guarantee, it means your next piece will be carefully inspired by jewelry experts and will always be worth its weight in gold. Whether you're looking to make a statement or build the perfect everyday look, eBay is making sure you get the real deal. With eBay Authenticity Guarantee, you can trust that jaw-dropping piece will always arrive jaw-droppingly real. Ensure your next purchase is the real deal. Visit ebay.com for terms. This episode is brought to you by Visible. Maybe you've already let your New Year's resolution slip. We all have, but you can still make a 2 year's resolution with Visible. Right now, you can get a one-line wireless plan from Visible for just $20 per month for 24 months. 24 months is basically 4 bachelor seasons. That could be 4 engagements, 4 broken engagements, so many other couples we didn't see coming. It's really an eternity in Bachelor Nation. And that's unlimited 5G data powered by Verizon with no annual contracts. Switch now at Visible.com and use the code VISIBLE24. Don't miss out. Offer ends January 31st. New members only. Promotional rate with service on the Visible plan. For additional terms and network management practices, see Visible.com. What did you think about the night that everyone was just having sex? Like literally everyone.
It's just not for me.
Exactly.
That was a lot.
It was like pretty insane. It was like, it's like basically a brothel at that point. It's just like, what are you all doing? And then Camilla alluding to the fact I have to assume she gave Jamie a blowjob while everyone was sleeping, and she did it very quietly so that no one woke up. I was just like, wow, okay.
Or what about when Camilla was like, he put it in? I was like,
and Montana was like, where?
No, I know. And then Montana was like, I can't imagine Camilla tipping. I was like, is tipping a thing? I've never heard of someone calling it tipping before.
Montana is like secretly as like sexually focused as Liv. I feel like Liv talks about it the most in a way, and like the most casually or like the most crassly, but Montana's up there as well.
For sure. Also, to your point about the challenges, I was thinking about this because every day they have something, it feels like, which one makes the show more entertaining to me personally. And the challenges are like, these challenges were so much better than like, oh, go like roll around in oil and then like, you know what I mean? Like the challenges now are a little bit more like meh, like there's no like juice to them. These challenges, most of them either have something funny or juicy attached to it.
Yeah, and it's not just like overtly sexual for kind of no reason, like the Gladiator challenge.
Right. Well, like, which is fine. You can mix one of those in, but every challenge doesn't need to be that.
Yeah.
I think that also helps like build friendships.
Yeah, having fun together, I'd say so.
Well, no, like having fun together, like working together to try to win something, learning stuff about each other. And then like, obviously it causes drama. So like it's drama, you go through it together. Like I feel like it makes them feel closer to each other.
Yeah, definitely. And then they also end up giving them a lot more like pointless rewards. Like when the girls won the cocktails, it's like, well, you guys drink plenty anyway, so who cares? But it is like team building. So it's like, yes, we did something and now we get this reward. Similar to the glitter party, which the women putting glitter in their hair was one of the most horrifying and like just confusing things I've ever seen. Why did they do that? How the fuck did they get it out? It looked awful.
Well, they put glitter everywhere. Like the amount of glitter on their bodies was nuts.
It was nuts. I was just like
how much glitter were they supplied with?
And how do they
Did you see Sam's chest when he was leaving?
I know. They had so
I was
much.
like, wait, what? Also, the design on the chest was pretty good.
It wasn't just glitter. It was sequins. I was like, you have sequins in your hair and like they're glued in. What are you guys doing? It was so upsetting to me.
I didn't. I don't know how they got it off. I don't know how they got it on.
But things like that do make it seem fun. Like on season 9, they only had that once basically where they had the DJ come or whatever. But giving them like these just sort of like events all the time.
Parties.
Yeah. It makes it a lot more fun. Also, it's like a lot more emotionally like ups and downs that aren't just like manufactured based on just having like bombshells come in or whatever. So I don't know why they moved away from that. Maybe it became too predictable or I don't know. But the season, it's really fun. And like in this 3 or 4 or in these 4 episodes, we got the lie detector, the Twitter challenge, the glitter party, the women's mission, and then the final 5 dates. Like that's so much action for just a few episodes. You did put in our notes, Callie, which date would I want? Which date do I think that you would want? And I'm kind of offended by this because there's one date that is objectively so much better than the other 4. And so I just think if you think that I don't want to be going on the luxury yacht and that you don't want to be going on the luxury yacht, there's something wrong with you.
I wanted the luxury yacht and I thought that you would say that I would want it. I thought you would choose Camilla and Jamie's date.
What? You thought I would want dinner on the cliff?
You know whose date I wouldn't want?
The helicopter?
No, I'm fine. I mean, I don't ever want to get on a helicopter again in my life.
The raft? The raft date?
Yeah, what the fuck? I'd be throwing up.
Well, okay, we'll come back to that in a second. But all of those dates were just like a random meal in one place. And plus a helicopter ride for Gab and Mars. Except Liv and Chris got like actually an awesome experience that's like expensive and like hard to arrange for yourself. So of course that's the best one. The other 3, Cam and Amber, just had dinner in like a pagoda or whatever. And then Jamie and Camilla, I think you thought that I'd want that because I'm like bookish like them. But like, no, I want to go on a super yacht.
I thought that you would be like, oh, it's like the music was beautiful. And that could be really fun.
I did. But like, I also like luxury, okay?
I mean, mine is definitely the yacht. I don't even know if I'd want to go on any of the other dates.
Well, I would just like the rest of these are just meals. The they had like a bachelor date of like champagne on the yacht or whatever. But they're all the other four were just like meals and weird locations. And yeah, Montana and Alex being on like a dock in the Mediterranean Sea that's like not well like tied down.
Secured.
Seemed awful.
I was like, how are they not throwing up?
That's also like made him look really fake because that sucked. And he was acting like it was like the most amazing thing in the world. All of them act like they had the best time ever. And I'm just like, but you didn't really do anything special. Like you just went out for dinner. It's no different than any other date.
I mean, Camilla and Jamie did seem to feel like they looked like they were having a great time.
Well, you know what's really nice about Camilla? The little things mean so much to her. Like when they played Africa by Toto, she was so happy. She was like, and I guess, and that's like a really sweet thing. She finds like meaning and joy in sort of like very minor things. So that'll lead to a happy life.
And easy for Jamie to make her happy.
Yeah, it's like the opposite of Liv, who is like, my only goal in life is to be rich, to be chetty.
She got a wish. Do you think that Montana, like watching these episodes, I was like, oh, these people are definitely trying to win now. Like you can tell like the game is starting to come in. And I think part of the reason why these episodes were so rough for Montana, because I was like, you're blatantly trying to win.
Yeah. Yeah, she's making it seem like her and Alex are like a bigger deal than they are. And I'm like, what are they? I still don't understand the idea of winning the show. And it's not because of the money. Like I'm always like, oh, it's no money. But it's like, who cares? You care if the public vote to like that you're the best couple. It's like literally like, so it's just the same as wanting
like
to
a popularity contest.
Yeah, it's like wanting to be homecoming queen.
Yeah. And on top of that, usually the winner gets the most followers. They get the most deals afterwards. So you make the most money after the show. And you get to stay the longest.
Right.
Or
but
you
like,
and the two other couples, the three finalists. So,
but if you make it to final five. Oh, yes.
I also was thinking, because I was just trying to think like, why do I love this season so much more than other seasons? 2 through 6, I'm throwing 6 in there, but it's probably 2 through 5. Are to me like so much better than every other season.
Yeah.
I also was thinking about how many of the OGs are still in the villa.
Oh yeah, so many. So many. We have Camilla, Liv, Amber, Montana, Kem, Marcel. I think that might be it.
Well, and Chris was like
day 2 or
OG
whatever.
adjacent. Yeah. He was the first bombshell.
Yeah, him and Jamie came together. That definitely.
And Sam was an OG. He just got voted out.
Yes, he came back. And Mike thing was early on too. Mike and Sam, bad beat, voted out twice.
Yeah. So I was just like, maybe that's another reason.
Yeah. I mean, also it's just really like a fun group of people. And I think it feels natural. I think there's something about reality TV that when a new show is a sensation, and so the people on it don't know exactly what to do or exactly what to expect. And therefore also the producers don't have to like make so many contrivances to keep it interesting.
Yeah.
It's like really thrilling. And that's one of the things we're seeing right now. Because that happens with like every other show, like when you can't buy into it, it's just a lot harder. But these people just seem like they're just being themselves. And also I was thinking about it with the final dates, how like effusive they all were. I was like, they just must be so sick of being in the villa and like just so comfortable there now. It's just like they're basically at home. They don't even like know any other reality that they just like go with it. And
doing anything is fun.
Yeah. And another reason I like this season is like they get to leave the villa sometimes. Like that's awesome.
A lot more than newer seasons.
Yeah. I wonder if part of that was COVID, but still.
Another semi-rough go was Gab.
Yeah. Do you think she's actually into Marcel?
I think that she's into Marcel, but I also think she knows that people really like him when she came on the show. The lie detector was not great.
I think she's getting worried about life on the outside. And she's like, doesn't know if it's going to work on the outside. And that's what's coming through. And they live near each other. They live 20 minutes apart, which I feel like is actually a negative.
I think it's hard for me to believe that she said she did not love him, and it said that she was telling the truth.
I know.
But then a couple hours later, she actually does love him.
I know.
Like Sam and Chris being like, this makes no sense. I was like, I hate to agree with Sam and Chris, but I do.
I know, but how could you not? Yeah, the lie detector was really rough for her. And so much of it also was like how she just looked really worried about what the lie detector would bring out, you know, is that she couldn't like play this role anymore because the lie detector would reveal it. And yeah, that was very tough. So I don't know. I thought they could win, and now I think it has to be between Cam and Amber and Liv and Chris, because they didn't get any votes among the group of 5 when they were voting for each other. And in the previous,
I'm shocked Liv and Chris didn't get any.
I know. And in the previous vote, when Sam and Georgia went home, neither of them were on the chopping block either. So it's got to come down to one of those two couples.
No, Liv and Chris weren't they?
No, they weren't. I was shocked.
Oh, I thought they were the final 2. I thought it was between those 2 couples.
No, she read it aloud. They tried to make you think that, but no, it wasn't. But yeah, so it has to be one of those 2 couples. And I feel like it's probably Cam and Amber, but just because they're like more meant to be. But it's pretty clear it's one of them. And if you're a viewer and you're voting, like, aren't you so swayed by seeing how those 5 couples talked about each other? Like, no one mentioned Cam and Amber at all.
Yeah, that's true.
And I don't even think
no one mentioned Liv and Chris.
Yeah, because everyone just like thinks they've been through it all. I know, they clearly should not be together.
Even when Jamie was talking to Gabby about who he thinks is going to win, and he was like, I mean, Chris and Liv have been through a journey.
Yeah.
I was like, yeah. I agree with everything Jamie says for the most part.
He is so great.
He's great, but
yes,
every single thing he does, Camilla's like, he's just amazing.
There's a couple Camilla things we haven't talked about all season that I want to hit on. First of all, when she gets stressed, the way that she holds her face is so weird. It's like, maybe it's like a makeup thing. She doesn't want to put her hands on top of her face because of like the oil.
Yeah.
But it's really, really weird, and she does it a lot. Number 2, her talent delivering the speech was like both impressive and like
very, very fitting.
Very Camilla, but also like, all right, come off it. I mean, it was nice.
I really think that's who she is.
No,
like,
I agree.
Nothing else.
I think it's who she is.
And I think that's why everyone else can like buy into it.
Yeah.
Because they were like, it's not like she's like trying to be something that she's like, they're like, that's just who she is.
Yeah.
Like, we're not surprised at all.
Yeah.
Like when they were like, oh, there's so many places we can go. Like, let's go here. And she's like, but then we also have to go to an orphanage.
Yeah.
I was like, we're talking about vacation. Give it a rest.
She has so much guilt.
Give it a rest.
I wonder what her mom guilt situation is like, since she feels so much regular guilt.
She probably never leaves them.
You think?
I mean, I would say that I am probably the opposite of Camilla. And it took me a year to leave my first. And I don't think people would guess that.
I don't know. I think you seem very involved with your children, as far as I could tell.
No, I am. But I mean, like, Camilla can't go on vacation without going to an orphanage.
That's true.
And that's awesome, by the way.
I know, she's a great person.
Couldn't respect it more. Also, just because obviously, you know, how wealth is dispersed in our world.
Yeah.
I think it's really nice for someone who can afford a vacation to think, well, like, if I'm going to do this, then I have to give back. Like, she obviously has like the right thinking. Why didn't she run for president?
I don't know. Maybe she'll run for local office. She can be an MP in the UK.
Yeah, she really could. The talent show, though.
Oh, yeah. The talent show.
How the fuck Jamie and Alex got a tie is beyond me. Because Alex was so weird. Like, what was happening? And I feel like Jamie just let him like join in because he didn't have a talent. So Jamie was like, yeah, okay, you can come on.
Like, if I was in Montana and he was like doing that like weird slow lap dance, I would be like, please stop. I was just like, this is not, no thanks.
Ick. Immediate ick.
And Jamie's so talented. Like, what a great singer.
Yeah, he could have just done it by himself.
Yeah, he didn't need Alex at all. He just was like letting him ride his coattails. I think Alex is also just trying to win. Like, I think Alex in Montana, that's why
100%.
They're like the same. They're the Sammy and Tom of the season. Like, they're just trying to get people's approval for whatever reason. And we see through it. You know, it's not going to work. Although,
by the way, I think all their castmates see through it too because they had the most votes.
Yeah. Yeah. They're just like, nope, that's not going to happen.
And I loved Liv is a lot.
Yeah.
We recognize that.
But we love her.
Yeah. Liv standing up for Gab and Marcel, I really appreciate it.
She's ultimately, I think, like a really like good friend. The way that she got up and comforted Gab, I thought was really sweet. I just think that she feels like under siege a lot. And like, she's just a really defensive person.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. And that's where it comes from. But like when she doesn't feel like she's threatened, which is not frequent, I think she's a very good person. So
let's add to her. Her and Amber's roast was awesome.
Yeah. It was just, they needed a little bit more gusto. Like they were kind of like quiet and slow in how they delivered it, but it was really funny. All the jokes were very good.
But the way they edited it too didn't help. Like they cut it all up. Like I wish, because it was so good, they wanted to use every clip in between everyone else's talent. But if they put it all together, like I thought it was really, really funny.
And also the way that it was edited, it made you think it was going to be awful because they were just sitting in silence together at first.
So good. I laughed at every joke.
I did too. And they were all spot on. And it was great how they said Montana and Gab hate each other because they probably actually do.
Yeah, I know.
They won't admit it right now.
They were like, when they talked about Jamie and Camilla, and were like, we thought that maybe you wouldn't be able to hear us from your pedestal up there, or whatever they said. Like it was just, it was really, really good.
I'm giving all the credit to Liv on that.
And they were like, oh, I'm glad you guys could give us a break from playing with each other's pubes. Chris and Kem. So good.
There also was that one moment earlier on when Kem says to Chris, I wake up to see Amber's face, but also yours.
I mean, Chris and Kem together, they should have had a show. They should have done a show afterwards of their friendship. It could be like The Simple Life, but with Chris and Kem.
So much better. Oh my God. Yeah. I'd absolutely love that. Maybe we can get them on the pod together. That'd be fun. We can send an ask out for that.
Oh my God. I'd be so happy.
I know. It would be really fun.
The girls' challenge.
Yes.
I actually was very entertained by it all.
Me too. I liked it. Who do you think had the hardest challenge? I think Montana. Doing sex sounds with Kem. Yeah. It's just kind of weird.
The only one I thought wasn't hard was Gabby's. Just because like I feel like anyone would go in there and try to help her.
The way that Jamie just like did like
rolled
into the pool.
Yeah.
So weird.
Also, like when she was like, oh, I have it in my ear, like him being like, oh my gosh, silly Gab. Like everyone else would be like, Gabby, what the fuck? But Jamie's just perfect.
I got it. Yeah, he was so quiet.
I thought Liv's was very like so fitting. Like they were all, or Camilla trying to get Marcel to say Blazing Squad. I was like, how is she going to do that? But she played it perfectly.
She really did. Their friendship doesn't get enough love, but it's clearly very sweet. Like
very strong.
Yeah. And the way that she was like, yes, we've been having like millions of conversations. Like that's definitely one of the best male-female like friendships on TV I can think of. It's a really, really good one.
Well, I think it's really good because it's beyond just them like cracking jokes. Like I think they like truly, truly care for each other.
Yeah. And they just seem like it's like they're always there for each other too. I don't know. It's just very supportive. It's very sweet. Dr. Marcel. I still don't get that joke. I don't remember where it came from. And so every time he brings it up, I just have no idea what Ian Sterling's talking about.
I don't know, but I noticed Romford.
Apparently Romford's in London. I looked it up. It's not even like...
He says it so much.
I know it, and I don't get it. British people, please let us know what the deal with Romford is.
British people, I have another question for you. After the girls' challenge, this is another phrase I don't get. Who are ya? Who are ya? Who are ya? What does that mean?
I have no idea. I don't know. I'm going to post about this on Instagram, see if people respond.
They did it after Casa Amor too. When they won those challenges, each villa was like, who are ya? Who are ya?
I don't know. It's as inexplicable as Sweet Caroline being like one of the most popular songs in England and them singing it at all their matches.
I didn't even know that was a thing. We do it at at Florida.
Oh, you do?
Mm-hmm. And a song by Tom Petty.
Well, that's because he's from Florida.
Hey, baby. Didn't know.
But that's because he's from Florida.
Isn't
he?
Back down. Is he? Did I tell you about the time when he died at work? Did I tell you this?
No.
I was an assistant, and where I worked, all the desks were like in the halls outside of their boss's offices. So like all the assistants are kind of like in an open area. And Tom Petty died, and everyone was freaking out at work, like talking about it. And I was like, wait, why are people so upset that a serial killer died?
Oh my God.
And they were like, what? And I was like, Tom Petty, isn't that the serial killer? And
Who are you
everyone
thinking
was
of?
like, I don't know.
He was born in Gainesville. That's why you guys do that at UF.
Ah, got it. That's like a pretty popular song though, right?
Yeah, very. All right, Callie, we got 2 episodes left of season 3. Let's do some season end awards. We'll do an information dump and we'll just savor it, you know?
Wait, so is this for, when are we doing this? Thursday?
Thursday, yeah.
Thursday's the end?
Yes.
Wow.
We've got 2 more. I know. That's why I'm so upset.
I guess it is June 8th. For some reason, doesn't feel like it, does it?
No, it's just been such a blast. I feel like also, I don't know. I just feel like you're the Chem to my Chris at this point in this Love Island journey, you know?
Oh, I have a question for you.
Okay.
Now that you've seen 2 seasons of Love Island, but more so this season, even though you did like season 9, do you understand why I was so obsessed with it?
Yes, absolutely. Yes. I mean, it's just real. First of all, there's so much of it. So it just becomes like all encompassing. It's a lifestyle because you're just like watching it all the time. Second of all, it's unlike anything else on TV. Maybe Big Brother used to be like this, but like there's just nothing else like this. Really just like having fun. It's really low stakes. They're being silly. It's just like it's a good hang. And I'm like, I work from home, so like half the time, so I don't always see people all the time during the day. I'm like, I'll just pop on Love Island, see what they're up to. So yes, I completely get it. I feel like it's kind of like a perfect reality show in a very, very, very crowded reality TV landscape. And this was pitch perfect casting. Like just absolutely nailed it. These people were like game to do whatever. And they had a little bit of an idea of what the show is, but like no one had like perfected it yet. And it's just great.
Yeah. I mean, I know before I used to talk about it all the time, but I thought you thought I was crazy. Like, how can anyone like a reality show this much? So it makes me so happy that you now understand.
Well, I'm glad we can share this. Also, I just do think the sheer volume of it is like, it's like an immersive experience. It's just like Love Island becomes your life.
And that used to be like your biggest complaint. And I'm like, I can totally see how seeing 50 episodes, someone would be like, what the fuck? I cannot do that. That's way too much. But then once you're in it, you can't get enough. You wish there were 100.
Yeah. And I just want to say, I in the span of this season, I feel like I've been able to have a double life, a real life, and also my Love Island life. But I was able, like in this span, I think I've read 2 books. I went to 3 other countries. I've done a lot, you know. So there's women, we can have it all.
You
a
can
Love
do
Island
it all.
and a real life.
Yeah. And by the way, I've been watching this. I've only been in the United States, but I've moved 7 times, it feels like. And I can still do it. Had a baby.
And 3 children, including a baby. Yeah.
Lots can happen.
Lots can happen. Thank you so much to our producer, Ashleigh Smith. I can't wait, but I'm also sad about next episode on Thursday. And then we're taking a week off, people. We got to recharge. We got to get in the right headspace. And when we come back, we'll be able to, talk about Love Island Season 10, and more importantly, get ready for charity season of The Bachelorette. Cannot believe it. It's time. We'll be back next week. Or no, we won't. We'll be back on Thursday.